How can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou?
So the exhibition between Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul, postponed. Actually, no, it's not happening at all. They're looking for a new opponent to replace Jake Paul. They named guys like Andre Ward. That should be pretty interesting if SOG is going to take notes. Ryan Garcia, who out of nowhere is going to be getting the WBC title shot from Mario Barrios. That fight is close to being done. It's a crazy shit, man. But Jake Paul also reached out to this guy.
How can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Come on, like the way different and everything, it make no sense. It make no sense. Nikisa reached out the other day and tell me how they need a replacement for Gervonta. Then I say, okay, what can I do for you? He said, yeah, we're looking for a replacement, but I still haven't get it. I was like, okay, then what exactly can I do for you? Like we would think about you to fight Jake. I'm like, what? I'm like, who's Jake? I was so confused. I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't disrespect me like that. He sent out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. I'm not just interested. He make no sense for me.
Is it flattering at least that they're thinking about you?
Yeah, I think it's disrespectful instead. What flattering? Come on.
And yeah, Francis Ngannou. We haven't seen Francis Ngannou since his fight against Anthony Joshua. Very embarrassing defeat to AJ. And prior to that, he put up a very spirited performance, a very good performance against Tyson Fury. Got up in there with AJ and got smoked. We haven't seen him since. Now, I'm not sure if he's been competing in mixed martial arts and since then. I know he's the PFL heavyweight champion. Is he? I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen much of Francis Ngannou, but he feels disrespected. He feels disrespected because
get the lights up.
They came to him after the fight originally being for Tank. Now, we know Jake likes to fight either small dudes, old dudes, or a combination of both, right? And Francis Ngannou is looking at it like, look, man, I'm neither one of these, right? I'm one of the biggest fighters in combat. You just was trying to fight one of the smallest fighters in boxing with a name, and now you're going to fight one of the biggest heavyweight fighters in combat today in Francis Ngannou. Nah, I feel disrespected. You can't put no money on this. I don't want the fight, no. Right? But Tank Davis, man, we haven't heard nothing from Tank Davis, but we did hear something today, right? We haven't heard nothing about the little situation that he got himself into with his ex, another ex, hitting on girls, but he had a lot to say about Victor Conte. And as you can see on the screen, Tank Davis left this on his IG and says, good day for boxing. No more snack for you bustards, right? So no more snack for you busters. That's crazy, though. You know, he's celebrating the death of Victor Conte. He is so happy that this guy's gone, right? I'm not sure if that's what you should be doing, Gervonta, because you one of the dudes who come out here when fans is coming for you, when the media is coming for you. You want everybody to have sympathy for you. You want everybody to stop. You want to say, oh, well, I got to do this, and I'm about to retire, and I don't want to do this no more, and all this other stuff. You want people to have sympathy for you, but then you over here on the other cheek, you turn around and you wishing death on people and shit, bro. So nah, man. This is why I said fuck this dude, bro. This is why I got the attitude. Tank fans be wondering why this is why. Shit like this is why, man. He ruined Gary Antoine's opportunity. He ruined Andy Harioka's, Alicia Baumgartner and her opponent, and whoever else was on that card. The real fighters that was on that card. Not just Jake Paul, but the real actual fighters who was fighting on that card. And now they got to scramble and push this thing back to December because you don't know how to fucking act, dude. And not to mention, to make matters worse, you come out here and wish death on somebody in boxing. That is absolutely insane. But this is the guy that we're dealing with. This is the guy that was self-proclaimed the face of boxing. Right? But in reality, when you look at the ticket sales for this exhibition with Jake that he was supposed to have, it wasn't moving at all. Nobody was buying tickets for that fight. Nobody was buying tickets. This is what they're not telling you. That nobody was buying tickets for this thing. And now they scrambling because Jake Paul and them put up a lot of money to make this thing happen. And now they may have to push it back altogether and find an opponent that's worthy enough, or not even say worthy, but an opponent that's popular enough for Jake to share the ring with. Tank Davis ruined everything, right? He ruined everything. This is the guy we're dealing with, man. He bamboozled Lamont Roach. He bamboozled everybody on this card. He bamboozled Jake Paul, who gave him this opportunity to make this payday, to give him a little break from the real fighting to make a lot of money. He ruined that shit. Right? What happened to Abdul Wahid? The Muslim. I mean, this dude is a fraud, bro. He's a fraud. He's been pampered throughout his whole boxing run. Yeah, he has the image of a thug and a street dude, and he was knocking people out, and that was selling, right? That was selling. That sold really well, especially for the younger folks, right? But in reality, dude was a fucking fraud, bro. And now there's no Leonard Ellaby to protect him. There's no Floyd Mayweather to protect him. There's no Showtime, Steven Espinoza to protect him. He's out here. And now we've been seeing he's been moving like a buster ever since. So what you worried about Snack for if you retiring anyway? Allegedly beat up on girls again. Again, bro. Like, come on, man. I'm tired of Tank Davis, bro. I mean, I didn't really care too much, but it was something because we've been starving for some action for weeks. Keith Thurman Fedora flopped, so boxing fans been like, man, we gotta wait for the next one. And the next one's gonna be Gary Antoine Russell, Andy Hiroka, and Alicia Baumgartner on the card. And then, you know, Jake and Tank, if that was your cup of tea, it was there for you. It was something to look forward to. Now we ain't gonna have that either. Now, of course, we got Virgil Ortiz and Erickson and Hammer Lubin coming up. But man, you scrapping, you a fraud, dog. Gervonta Tank Davis is a fraud, man. He's not that guy. He's not a role model. He's not none of that for younger guys or younger fighters to look up. He's none of that. Wishing death on people, you know your boy Bushido don't get down like that. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's some absolute bullshit. Tank Davis is a piece of shit, man. Dude's an absolute piece of shit, man. Yeah, Francis Ngannou should feel disrespected. How you gonna go from this little chump to me? The African king. King Kong. How you gonna go from a pipsqueak to King Kong, bro? It just doesn't make sense. I feel disrespected. You know what I'm saying? You was fighting this little pipsqueak, and now you trying, nah, man, that's disrespectful. No, I don't want to fight. That's disrespectful. Nah, man, Tank Davis, though, this is what he is, though, man. He was talking about retiring because he thought he had this thing in the bag, but he can't get out of his own way. You know what I'm saying? He can't get out of his own way, bro. And that's just what it is. But yeah, man, Tank Davis. The event is scrapped. The Jake Paul event is scrapped. They scrambling to find a replacement opponent. We're going to see what happens with that. And we're going to see what happens with Tank Davis, man. This event wasn't selling, contrary to what we may think or believe. Tickets wasn't selling for this event. A lot of available seats open. They cut the tickets and prices in half, I heard, and the event ended up not happening altogether. Thanks to Gervonta Tank Davis. But tell me what you guys think. Francis Ngannou gets sent an offer. They looking around for next opponent. Andre Ward gets asked as well. And Tank Davis had some pretty nasty things to say about the late Victor Conte. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.